Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new reading vlog. So usually in December I try to do weekly reading vlogs because this is just my favorite time of the year and I really enjoy looking back at these vlogs and just feeling all of the fuzzy Christmassy vibes. I don't think I'm going to be able to do weekly vlogs this year because I honestly just don't feel up to it, but it's currently the 4th of December and I wanted to start a vlog today. So I don't have any specific reading plans. I have one thing that I'm like definitely in the middle of reading and I need to finish, and then I have one book that I think I'm gonna pick up next, and then I have a couple of books that maybe I'll pick up, but you know what, I could really read anything from my December TBR. We're just gonna have to see what happens. So the book I'm currently reading is a behemoth of a book that I've been reading since I feel like early summer, late spring. Put it down for quite a few months, picked it back up in November, and I would have finished it if I didn't have to stop to read the Besties and Books book club pick of the month. So now it's carried on into December and I'm desperately wanting to finish it. I'm really enjoying it, and it's Judy by Gerald Frank. This is a Judy Garland biography and I'm really enjoying this book. Okay, I love Judy Garland. Obviously The Wizard of Oz, like I'm a huge fan of that movie and the book. Like it's one of my favorite things in the entire world. It brings me a lot of joy, and Judy Garland herself, her voice brings me a lot of comfort. I bought a vinyl record of hers last year. Oh my god, I feel like I've owned it for forever, and I put it on for the first time and I think I was nearly brought to tears listening to Over the Rainbow. And I don't know why, like her voice, and it's talked about a lot in this book, that her voice is just filled with so much like heartbreak but also like warmth, and like I don't know, it's just a very comforting voice to me. And so I don't know, I was really intrigued to read this book, learn more about her. I have watched some documentaries about her. There's a biopic about her just called Judy, and that was really good, but I really wanted like to know more about her in depth. I love reading celebrity biographies, so I've been having a really great time with this book. But it's huge. Okay, it's over 600 pages. I am currently on page 455. I have under 200 pages to go. But this book is taking me a while to read because obviously it's a biography. There's a lot of information being thrown at me about Judy Garland and I'm annotating it, which just naturally takes longer. But I've been having so much fun reading this book and learning more about Judy Garland and her life. So much so that like I'll be reading it and then I'll just tell my family everything that I've learned, and it's my new hyperfixation, and they're like, you are obsessed with Judy Garland. And you know what, yes I am. And reading this while listening to my Judy Garland vinyl, perfection. It's so good. But yeah, I've just been really enjoying reading this, so this is definitely top of my priority list for this reading vlog. I just really need to finish it so that I can move on to other books, because if you guys watched my December TBR, which I will link up above for you to check out if you missed it, but I am quite behind in my reading goal for the year. I think I'm like 15 or 16 books behind, and I would really like to hit it because I'm just like that. I like to finish my challenges and goals that I set for myself. So I need to read 100 books and I am behind, so I need to finish this so that I can read some faster, quicker books to get that book count up. But I'm really enjoying this. If you guys also like Judy Garland, then I do recommend this. The book that I want to pick up immediately after reading Judy though, I think, is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This just seems like it's going to be a very quick read. I typically read Christina Lauren very quickly, so I think that this is the right move for me, jumping into it right after Judy. Just something quick and easy and fun and cute. So this one I'm very excited for. It is a lot of people's favorite Christina Lauren book. I don't know if it's going to be my favorite just because I don't know if it can top Love in Other Words and In a Holidays, but I guess we'll see. I'm very intrigued, very excited to see what I think of this book, and it's on my 23 in 2023 TBR, so I need to get to it. So that's like the only thing that I'm like 99% sure I'm going to read next. But the other two books that I could potentially pick up in this vlog are Witchwood by Taharamafi and Hani and Ishu's Guide to Oh my god, wow, I just realized that. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating and Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. I didn't even do that on purpose. Anyways, these are also books on my 23 to read in 2023 list, so I would like to get to them. I'm right now almost maybe leaning towards Witchwood just because it's like the wintry vibes, and I could kind of use some like fun wintry vibes. But then I also feel like this one is going to be a book I really love, and it's also going to be a really quick read. So I don't know, we're gonna see what I'm in the mood for, but definitely top priority is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating and finishing Judy by Gerald Frank. My plans for today though, I need to do some writing because I've been really slacking on that, and then we're probably gonna watch a Christmas movie tonight as we usually do every night in December. I don't know, I have some crafting that I need to do. I also need to like clean my room at some point. It's not like that messy, but I've had a basket of clean laundry sitting on my bed for weeks now that I just need to put away instead of like rummaging through it to find a pair of socks. You know, it'd be so much easier if I just actually folded it, put it away, so I could just grab a pair of socks. I don't know why I haven't done it, but regardless, I will do some reading later tonight, I think, but for right now I just need to do some writing, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's now 1:30 in the morning. I'm thoroughly exhausted and my eye is hurting a little bit. I've gotten some reading done. I'm on page 509. I think I have just under 130 pages left to go. I was hoping to read a little bit more today, like read half of whatever was left so that I could read the last half of it tomorrow. And I would stay up and try to read a little bit more if my eye wasn't hurting, but it does hurt and I don't want to overdo it. So I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna try to read as much of this book as I can tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it. I really don't think so. It's really hard for me to sit here and read huge chunks of this book at a time simply because of, you know, me trying to pay attention to everything and annotating things, so it just takes me longer to get through. I also have some things to do tomorrow. I have to edit a video that I filmed today so that it can go up for Wednesday. It's my December TBR. I need to do some writing. I need to do some of the crafting that I need to do. So it's going to be a bit of a busy day. I'm going to try to wake up earlier than I have been to give myself more time to do the things that I need to do, but we're just going to have to play it by ear. Still enjoying this book, learning a lot lot about Judy Garland, and I'm finding it very, very interesting. So I'm very excited to continue reading this tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it, hopefully in the next 2 days at least, because while I'm really enjoying this, I'm ready to move on to something else. I'm ready to move on to just reading a bunch of fiction books, because I've been reading this for what I feel like has been forever. So anyways, I'm gonna go to bed, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I have just finished Judy by Gerald Frank. Like, I literally finished it a minute ago. This book, as somebody who has always loved Judy Garland, ever since I was a very small child, loved The Wizard of Oz. I feel like a lot of children have that experience. A lot of people just have that experience of watching her in The Wizard of Oz for the first time and just being completely taken aback by her talent and her performance in that movie, and just the movie in general is just so charming and cute, and it's one of my favorites of all time. To then reading this book after not knowing much about her as a person, besides the very basics of she struggled a lot with addiction and pills and all of that, and died far too young. That's really the extent of what I knew, and maybe like a few like Wizard of Oz specific fun facts. So to read a book that is over 600 pages dedicated to telling her entire life story from when she was a baby, like literally before she was even born, talking about like her family and how she was coming into the world when she was Frances Gum, and then to see until the very end, and I don't know why I'm about to cry. And I didn't know if I was going to cry while reading this, but I definitely did, just a little bit. Just a few tears were shed. It was mainly parts about like her kids that got me and their reactions to things and their outlook on it, especially Liza's was just could never be me is all I'll say. Like I could never have the strength or the insight to react the way that she did. But this book, I learned so much about Judy Garland, and I've probably forgotten, like I've definitely forgotten most of the things in this book because my memory is garbage. And I read part of this book like months and months and months ago, and then I picked it back up again recently. But I've annotated this book so much, and there are like obviously like a few key things that I remember from reading the book from earlier on, and I just feel like I have more of a fuller picture, a bigger picture of who she was as a person, which wasn't always great. She had a lot of issues, and there's a lot of things that she did that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I also know that she was under the influence of the drugs, and the pills made her a very different person than to who she was when she was sober and normal. I was listening to her music on YouTube while I was reading that last chunk of the book, because I just felt like it was right to like end the book with her voice in the background. My goodness, I really, really loved this book. I'm just like, I'm still kind of reeling from it mentally. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I'm just, yeah, crazy. I'm also really happy to be done though, because I have been reading it for a couple of weeks now, not including when I started it months ago. It was just taking me a while to get through. Crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed, but tomorrow I'm gonna be picking up Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren for a bit more of a lighthearted quick read. Hopefully I can read this quite quickly. My only like plans for tomorrow, I have to do a live show for Besties and Books with Alyssa. We are discussing our November book, The Charm Offensive. So I'm excited to do that because I did really enjoy that book, and I might see if my dad will take me to Michael's because I have to get something for a craft that I'm making for somebody. I guess we shall see what tomorrow holds, but hoping that I can read a lot of this since I'm like basically done that craft and I don't have to like spend hours doing it every day. I'll have more time for reading. Hopefully that does not leave me up until 3 in the morning. So we are here to discuss our November book, The Charm Offensive by Allison Cochran. So this is the craft that I was working on for my friend. It was for her birthday. I made her a little book nook. If you guys missed it, months ago I uploaded a video making a mini library and also making a gothic book nook for my friend for her birthday. That was back, I made it for her birthday and that was like in June. So I posted that video months ago, so you can check that out if you want. But I made one for my friend Lorena. Look at it. It is stunning. I just added this hanging plant. I'm obsessed with it. But I have some bookish art prints here. I have some music posters there. This is her bookshelf. It's so cute. I've got all of her favorite books on there. I've got a little armchair that I made with her dog Zoe, a table with coffee, and a piece of cake that I literally made out of a piece of Lego. Iconic. I've got Maisie Peters tarot cards down there. I made a little record player. I made all of her favorite records, and each one has a record inside that has a hole poked in it, so she can put a record of her choosing on there. So cute. I'm obsessed with it. I made a hardwood floor out of coffee stir sticks. I think it's beautiful. That hanging plant really made it all come together. I am obsessed with it. I hope that she loves it. I'm hoping to give it to her today. Amazing. Okay, I started Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating last night. They're doing it again. Okay, I know this book came out in like 2018, but they've done it again. I am loving this book. Loving it so much. So I'm on page 131. I'm almost halfway through. I picked this up last night, I think like 1:40 maybe in the morning, because I was busy doing some stuff and so I couldn't pick it up until then, but I really wanted to get some reading done, and if I'm being honest, I already marked it off in my bullet journal that I had read for the day, so I had to get some reading done. So I sat down and I just, my god, it was such a quick read. I could not put it down, and I just kept reading until 3 in the morning. And honestly, I could have kept reading if it was not 3 in the morning, if I didn't have some things to do today and, you know, had to be awake and functioning. It's been a long time since I've just been able to sit and read a book for that long and just have it not feel like I'm reading, have it not feel like I'm like slowly like turning the pages, and like I was fully in the story, fully enjoying myself. I'm a huge fan. I'm tabbing this book, which I was not planning on doing, but I think I got like 2 chapters in and there had already been a couple of things that I noticed that I would tab if I was tabbing, and then there was like one line, I don't remember what it was, but I was like, oh my god, I need to tab this book. I feel like I don't often just tab books anymore. I feel like if I'm tabbing something, I'm also annotating it, so it's nice to just be able to like throw a tab in there and not have to worry about like highlighting or writing some notes. I can just stick a tab and move on. It's like the good old days. Yeah, I just had to tab, and most of them so far are funny tabs because this book is a riot. I am laughing so much. I am having a great time with it. I'm loving the characters so far. And what I didn't realize, because I guess I have really bad reading comprehension and I didn't read the description properly, what I didn't realize is that Josh and Hazel are not like friends when this book starts. Like, I have always been under the assumption that they're best friends, have always been best friends. But what actually is going on is they knew each other from college. Hazel was kind of obsessed with Josh in a way, had like a crush on him. He was really cute, but she kept making a fool of herself in front of him and just making herself completely undateable in his eyes. And then they didn't see each other post college until 10 years later, so where this book is picking up. She goes to a barbecue of her best friend Emily and finds out that Josh is Emily's brother, and so she's determined to become best friends with him. And then the whole premise of the book is that his girlfriend cheats on him, and so Josh and Hazel end up setting each other up on a blind dates, and they do a double date with each other. And then it says they keep setting each other up on terrible dates so that they can hang out together, but they like don't realize that they have feelings for each other. They're like trying to pretend like they don't have feelings for each other, and I'm loving the vibe so far. It's been a long time, I feel like, since I've just read like a friends to lovers book, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, this is giving everything that I need it to give. It's currently Friday. My plan is to finish this book today. I probably won't get to reading until later tonight just because my grandma is coming to stay with us for the weekend, so I'm going to spend the night with her, and then I also need to take a shower because I really need to wash my hair, so I probably won't get to reading until later tonight. I also want to watch a Christmas movie. So, although honestly, I'm about to go make my dinner, and I kind of feel like maybe potentially reading this while I'm making my dinner. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna read this while I wait for my dinner to cook. I'm so excited. Easily 100% I can finish this today. I know that. Like, there's no way I'm going into tomorrow with this book not being finished. just finished Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. Oh my god. So I did read some of it while I was making my dinner, like waiting for it to cook. But then I was like so into it, I was like in the middle of a chapter, and so I kept reading even as I was eating. But then it got so intense, okay, like steamy stuff started to happen, and I was like, oh my god, like I cannot eat at the same time as I'm reading this. Like my focus is too split. So I watched YouTube instead. But then I picked it back up afterwards while I was waiting for my grandma to come over, and my god, like it was so painful to put the book down, and we watched a movie. You guys saw we watched Holiday. It was so painful to not read this, but she went to bed right after we watched the movie, so I just sat there on the couch and finished reading this book. And I have so many thoughts, and some of my thoughts are like kind of undecided. Like I don't know how I feel about the ending of this book. Like I loved it, I loved this entire book, I loved the ending, but at the same time it's like I have heard so many people talk about this trope, but I don't think I've ever experienced it in a book. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if I've ever experienced it, and I think this is a trope that a lot of people hate. And so like maybe I've heard about it referenced in this book, maybe I haven't, I don't know. And I don't even know if I want to say what it is because it's like a spoiler. But basically there's a trope that was used at the end of this book that I don't think I've ever encountered before, and I've never really put much thought into how I felt about it before or how I would feel about it. And so when it happened I was like, oh my god, they are not doing this right now, like what is going on? I should have seen it coming based on something that happened earlier in the book, but I thought like we were over it, I thought we got past it. So when it cropped up I was like, oh my god, like they're doing this right now. And then the way it progressed I never could have imagined, and let me tell you, the epilogue, I experienced the craziest whiplash I've ever experienced in my life. Like the end of that last chapter before the epilogue was so intense and emotionally charged, and then all of a sudden you're thrust into this epilogue and you don't know when it's taking place. I assumed it was taking place like almost immediately after, like a few months after, and so every little like piece of information that was being dropped I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what is happening? In like the best way ever. Like it was so fun to read it like that, but just like what the hell, like this was, I don't even know what to say about this book. I really loved it. I tabbed it a lot. I even ran out of pink tabs in like my main pack, so I had to use like this other pack of tabs that I use that I typically only use for like the extra colors in it that my main tabs don't have, so I had to use those, which I'm not thrilled about because like they're different. They look like this with like little arrows instead of just being like this, so that's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. I loved this book so much. I'm so happy that I finally read it. I don't know where it ranks in my Christina Lauren books that I've read. I honestly never know how to rank their books because I've loved every single one that I've read. I've only read a few, but I've loved every single one. And I don't know if it's even ever going to be possible for me to read all of their books because they have so many books. Like this came out in 2018, so this doesn't even have a huge chunk of their catalog, but like this is just all the books that they have at the time of 2018 when this book came out. But oh my god, I need to look into Roomies and Dating You Hating You. I've heard about those ones. My god, I feel so alive right now. I love reading. Like just all of today I've just been hit with this huge wave of love for reading, which is so great because I haven't really felt like that in a long time. Like I always love reading, I always enjoy reading, but like I feel so overwhelmed with my love of reading today, and that just makes me so happy. I clearly really loved this book. I'm gonna go update my bullet journal with the updatedness of reading list, and then I think I'm gonna take a shower and maybe watch another Christmas movie. I don't know, that kind of sounds like a vibe. I guess we'll see. That now that I finished Josh and Hazel, it's time to pick my next book. So I had a couple of options. I was thinking either Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating or Delila Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. And I think I'm leaning towards this one. Clearly there's a bookmark in it. I think I'm gonna do this one. I don't know, I'm very much so in the romance mood. I'm hoping that this one is also going to be very good. I'm very excited about it. It's a companion series and I really want to love it because all the covers are so gorgeous. Hopefully it captivates me just as much as Josh and Hazel's. It is significantly longer than Josh and Hazel's, but I'm hoping that it will still be a very quick read, and I'm hoping to read it this weekend so that I can have a clean slate, read new books next week. I don't know, I'm feeling very excited. I love reading, I love books. This feels great. Okay, I'm gonna go update my bullet journal and then I'm gonna go take a shower. I started Delila Green and Doesn't Care last night and I got up to page 175. We're on chapter 15. I'm about halfway through. I think I have like literally like 10 or so pages until I'm officially halfway through this book. But I was reading this last night. It was so cozy in here. I had my Christmas tree lights on. I had my Merry Cookie candle burning. I had my cats cuddling with me. It was very cute. But then I got distracted by my cats and I took a little mini photo shoot of them because they were both lying down on my legs and the Christmas tree was in the background. It was so cute. And then I ended up watching When Harry Met Sally for the first time and that was good. But then I did get back to reading before I went to bed. So, thoughts on this book so far. I'm really enjoying it. I really like Delila. And I'm also intrigued by the characters that the other books follow. I think the only one that's out right now is Astrid Parker Doesn't Date? Is that what it's called? No, is that the other one? No, it's Astrid Parker something. And that's Delila's sister. And as I'm reading this book, I'm realizing why she gets her own book. Because in this one, she's getting married. So I was like, why is she having her own romance book? Like, obviously something happens in this book and like the wedding doesn't happen. I feel like that's just easy to gather knowing that there's another book out. Seeing that unfold is quite interesting. But I think Delila is such a complex character and she's got a lot of complicated feelings about returning to her hometown, which I find really interesting to read about. And then we also have Claire. It's really interesting reading her POV because she's best friends with Astrid, who is Delila's stepsister, and they kind of weren't always the nicest to Delila when they were younger, but she is very obviously and clearly attracted to Delila like now in the current day as adults, and I'm really enjoying that kind of struggle in her head. Some stuff just happened between Delila and Claire, so that was fun, and I'm excited to see what happens next because I literally stopped at the end of the chapter where things had just happened, so I'm very excited to continue and see what happens next. But also Claire is a single mother. She got pregnant when she was 19, had her daughter, did not end up with the baby daddy, so I'm really enjoying those dynamics as well and seeing a single mother. I think it's interesting, and I'm intrigued to see more of it and maybe how Delila kind of fits into it a bit more, because we have had some interactions with Delila and Claire's daughter, and it was really cute. So I'm really excited to kind of dig more into that, hopefully. I'm also just really loving the whole backdrop of like the wedding and all the wedding prep, and then also kind of in the back of my head knowing that like obviously something happens and either the wedding doesn't go through or it like falls apart at the beginning of the next book or before the next book starts. I don't know, but I'm very intrigued about it. So yeah, we're about halfway through. I'm very intrigued to see how it's gonna wrap up. It is my plan to finish it today, but I don't know. It's currently just after 4 p.m. I'm going out tonight with my friends for my friend's birthday, and that's in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I don't remember exactly when we are leaving, probably around 7. I need to double check, and I don't know how long we're going to be gone for, but I'm assuming I'm going to be reading for the next 3 hours. I don't know if that's going to bring me to the end of the book. It kind of maybe depends how distracted I get, but I can always read when I come home, because I'm sure I will have plenty of energy when I come home still to do some more reading, since I don't go to bed till the wee hours of the morning. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna read for a while and hopefully make a lot of progress before we go. I don't think I'm gonna finish it before we go. We'll have to see, but I'm gonna sit down and get to reading. I'm now on page 264 of Delila Green Doesn't Care, and I'm still really enjoying it. It is now, however, 6 o'clock, and I think we're going out at about 6:30 or 7, and I honestly don't really feel like reading anymore, so I'm gonna pick that back up when I get home. There's not that much left to go, so I feel very confident that I can finish this, because I would like to be home before 11. There are 371 pages in this, so we're basically just over 100 pages left until I am done this book, which is very exciting. I feel like my reading has been going very well so far this month. I mean, we're only at the 10th of the month, but I'm feeling very confident that I'm going to be able to hit my 100 books for the year. Yeah, I will definitely pick that book up when I get home. Okay, this isn't even a good angle, but I have you propped on an I Love Lucy box set, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer box set, and a candle. I just did not feel like holding the camera, so here we are. I just finished Delila Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. It is literally 2 in the morning, or about to be 2 in the morning, and I definitely need to go to bed because I have something to do at 11 tomorrow morning. So this should be fun, but I just finished Delila Green, and I really enjoyed this book, and I'm so happy about it. I adored the romance between Claire and Delila. They were just so cute, and the way that like Claire was just like so sweet, and she was always like blushing over everything. It was just very sweet. I really liked the differences in their personalities and the way they were like kind of complete polar opposites in their personalities, but it just worked so well. And I really liked their history, with the fact that Claire is best friends with Delila's stepsister Astrid, who she doesn't have a great relationship with. There's a lot of like tension and history with that, which, speaking of, I loved the exploration of Delila's relationship with Astrid from both sides, from Delila and Astrid's side, how they kind of both just misunderstood each other, and they had gone through so much trauma at such a young age, and they both just didn't really know how to handle it, and so they both just kind of had a misconception about each other and their lives. And I don't know, it was just really interesting. I'm really scared that this is gonna completely topple over, and I just think that this book was so fun. It's a sapphic romance, so it was a lot of fun. I definitely teared up at a few parts, which I wasn't really expecting, and it kind of came on really suddenly, and I was like, why am I reacting like this? And I honestly don't even remember what the line was that like kind of spurred this reaction from me, but I was like, okay, like this book is meaning something to me, and I'm really happy that I finally got around to reading it. So now I just need to decide what I'm picking up next after this. I wanted to do my Christmas reading vlog after this one, but I'm still waiting on a couple of books from my library, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Now I need to dig into my TBR and figure out what I'm in the mood for. I don't know if I want to do another romance right after reading 2 really great ones. I don't know. So I'm gonna go update my bullet journal with this, and I guess I'll take a peek at my TBR and try to figure out what I want to read, because I don't want to waste a lot of time trying to figure out what I want to read, because then it could just end up in a spiral for days where I don't know what I'm gonna read. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to go to bed, and I will update you guys tomorrow on what I decide to read. As you guys saw last night, I picked up Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. I actually, the other night when I was trying to decide what I wanted to read, I picked up this book, and I picked up Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, which is not on my December TBR, but I might add it because it is on my 23 to read in 2023 TBR, and I would like to get to it. And then I think I picked up something else, but I don't know if I actually even looked at it. And I read the first little bit of each of the books, and this is the one that kind of caught my eye the most, so I picked it back up last night and actually started to read, and I made it up to page 102. We've kind of just gotten past the part where they've decided to fake date. They've gone on like one fake date, and they've kind of like soft launched the relationship, I guess, on social media, and it's just really fun. Both characters, I believe, are bisexual. I'm very excited to get further into their fake relationship. We all know fake dating is my favorite trope, so I'm really excited to dive into it a bit more and kind of see how it all plays out. So the plan for today, it's Tuesday, I'm gonna sit on my bed and read for a while, and then I'm going to the mall for some Christmas shopping with my dad tonight, so when I come home I need to do some writing. But I'm hoping to finish this book today, so we're gonna see how that goes. But I'd like to finish this and also finish this vlog today, so fingers crossed that everything goes according to plan. I was getting really distracted last night while reading, so I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but hopefully I have less distractions today and I can just read it and enjoy it. I just finished Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. I really enjoyed this book. It was super cute. I loved everything going on in it. There were a lot of conversations about like sexuality in terms of like Hani's friends in particular not fully understanding or accepting her bisexuality. Lots of talk about Bangladesh and the culture there. This takes place in Ireland, which I did not know picking up this book. I also didn't know that the author lived in Ireland, so that's kind of fun. So there's a lot of talk about Ireland as well. But I really enjoyed this book. I'm so glad that I finally read it. But that brings me to the end of the vlog. My camera is about to die. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what you've been reading recently, because I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!